Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Eyebrow Talk, Straight Razor. Does the truth really matter? So, John 14:6. What does the Messiah say? He says, what? I am the way, the truth, and the life. When Yeshua was on the earth, did Yeshua, think about it, right? We don't actually know what the conversations with the Messiah was truly like. We have a detailed enough record to know that these things occurred and right in the time frame, the event, and the context in which they occurred. But for the most part, there's not a detailed speaking portion with a general and specific crowd reaction, emotions, faces, body language of the Messiah, body language of the individuals. Now, there's stories where we understand that the people were confused and that they left, the people were shocked, the people were converted, the people were stricken with anger and hate at the words of the Messiah and wanted to kill him. Was the Messiah speaking the truth? Yes. Just like those that left him after Yeshua teaches about the manna, and he tells them, I am the bread of life. Many taught ones could not understand what he was speaking because Yeshua was teaching in the Spirit, in the Ruach. And they left him because they did not understand, they were hard to hear. So, should we then be twisting and contorting the word of the Most High so that it can be applied to our lives? Should we be sugarcoating the word? How many times in your life have you ever been in a situation where you looked somebody in the face and said, I wish you just told me the truth the first time? Everybody wants to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. Except, I was there too. All this stuff I talk about, I'm not immune to any of it. A lot of these things that I speak about, I went through. A lot of these things I questioned. A lot of these things broke relationships of people that I care dearly about, that I love. It ruined my relationship with that person. Are we supposed to sugarcoat? Or are we supposed to say, well, it's okay when you do these things, knowing in our head it's not? Do you really want to be standing in the end and having the face of your loved ones in yours going, you knew this whole time and you never said anything to me? If I love you and I care about you, I will tell you the truth. I will tell you what Scripture says. If you come to me with a predicament, an issue, a problem, a question, I'm always going to point to what the Word says first. And we will read it in multiple places, as much as I can find. And when you're looking at me going, well, what do you think this means? I'm going to show you more Scripture and say, I believe Yeshua is speaking about this in this context because of boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to let Scripture speak for itself. And when it seems vague or a little gray. I'm going to let other scripture fill in those vague and gray areas so that our judgment on this situation, our decision making, our answer and our solution is a scripture backed solution to our problem. Our worldly problem can be solved through the means of the Word. I remember a few years back, I had a discussion with my mother, and I was informing her that a very, probably seems to be honest, very good-hearted, genuine, providing individual, a teacher in a famous movement, who is probably a better human being than me, right? He's probably helped out more people individually with their physical needs than I have and probably ever will. Because I don't have a lot of money and I can't go build 1,000 wells in another country. Or make food for a whole bunch of people, right? I don't have the means to do that. But my comment was, this person is teaching against the Word because they're teaching against the commandments, the Torah. If they're teaching against the Word, they're teaching against the Word. Let's not forget that after the crucifixion and resurrection of Yeshua, there's two men walking down the road. And they're speaking. And Yeshua, who they do not recognize, has hidden himself, begins to walk with them. And they're discussing, what are you guys talking about? And they say, oh, have you not heard? Everyone in Jerusalem has heard. We thought Yeshua was the Messiah. We thought he was going to be the king to save us. Yeshua tells them that they're being foolish, that they are unlearned, and then Yeshua teaches them about himself using what? The Gospels of Luke. No, that's not right. The book of Mark. No, that's not. The words of Paul. No. Oh, that's right. The words of Moshe, the first 5 books of the Bible, which commonly referred to as the Torah, and the prophets. If you go against the words of Moshe, if you go against the beginning of the book, you're literally going against the Messiah. So if you're teaching against the Torah, you're teaching against the Messiah. Paul says it, without the Torah, there is no Messiah. Without the teachings of Moses in the Torah, there's no Messiah. There's no judgment. The Son cannot judge you if there's nothing to judge you off of. If there's no rules, then you can do whatever you want. I can't tell you you're wrong because there's no set of rules for me to say you're wrong against, right? There's nothing to hold up to examine me. Myself. How do I examine myself? Well, you do whatever you want. So, like, are you good? I'm good. Okay, you're good then. Are you bad? Yeah, but I don't want to be. Oh, so you want to be good? Yeah, I'm good. Oh, okay, cool. You're good now, man. That's all you had to say. There's nothing for judgment. There's no basis to judgment. And I had a discussion, and this was with my mother. And she cried on the phone to me, sorry, Mom, and said, do you think that I've led my family? You think I led you children astray? You think that I didn't love the Father, and you don't think that I loved the Son, and you don't think that I did everything in my power? That's not what I'm saying, right? But this is the issue. What I say and what you hear and what you say and what I hear can be two different things. When Yeshua said, if you eat of my flesh, this is the bread of life, and if you drink of my blood, then you'll gain everlasting life. For those with ears to hear understood and knew what he meant. But for those that didn't, it was too hard for them to hear. Did Yeshua speak different words? No, he spoke the same thing. There were just some who heard it for what it was, and some who heard it for what they wanted to hear it for. If you love somebody and you care about somebody, why would you sugarcoat and why would you glorify their sin? Why would you try to cast your pearls upon swine? Why would I try to make this abominable thing in the eyes of the Father something beautiful? Why would I dress up my sin and say, oh, well, it's still sin, but man, it looks good? No, I don't want you to do that to me. I want you to look at me and say, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, so that you can keep me accountable. Because I'm going to be mad if I look at you in the day of judgment, if this were to happen, which I don't think it is, because it doesn't sound like that versus all scripture. But just say we're all sitting there waiting to be judged, and I look at you, I'm like, dude, this whole time, this whole time, you knew I was doing all of these bad things, these evil things that were keeping me away from the Father and the Son and damaging my relationship with them. And you were letting me know, oh yeah, that's great, I'm glad you're doing that. Absolutely not. I will not be that person for my wife, for my children, for my brothers, for my sisters, for my mother, for my father, for anyone. I will not be that person. You will not look at me in the final days and say, why did you never tell me this whole time? I will never be that person, and you should never be that person. Because Yeshua didn't ask you, the Messiah didn't say, hey guys, let's tiptoe around feelings. Hey guys, let's go ahead and not do the will of my Father, and let's reconfirm the will of these people, and let's say, hey, that's okay, let's do it. I love every single one of these people that I talk to. Everybody. That's my job. And part of my job loving you is telling you when you're wrong. And part of your job of loving me is telling me when I'm wrong. Now, can we have a debate on whether I'm wrong and whether you're wrong, and you show me scripture and I go, wow, you know what? You're not wrong. I apologize. I take back my statement of saying you're wrong. You are actually in the right and I am in the wrong. Yes! Yes! That's iron sharpening iron. That's us using the word. That's us using the word to build that foundation of what we should be and how we should be. Because without that, we have nothing. We're just running around like chickens with their head cut off, just trying to figure out, what do I do? We're just bodies running around bumping into each other until eventually we run out of blood and energy and life and we die. Our job is to hold each other accountable. We are to be one body, one mind, one religion, one Elohim, one belief. That is Yeshua. That is the word. That's our belief. That's our standard. That's our religion. That's our author and perfecter of our faith. That's what we should be. It's his mind is what we should be. It's not yours and mine. It's not what I think and when you think, because we will reason. We will reason away the word every time. Every time we will compromise. I say this out of love. I do this because I care. I found time to make these videos, to say these things. If I have one person watching or a million people watching, I don't care. It's not my job to make anybody watch. The Father will lead whoever he wants to lead here. Do you want the truth? Or do you want sugar-coated candy that'll rot out your teeth, and then you'll be reverted back to the milk because you won't be able to chew? You'll have no teeth to chew the meat. I love you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.